Villagers, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. For decades they lied to us. They told us the world is a series of isolated rooms. They tell us that what happens in the desert of the Middle East has nothing to do with the heart of Africa. But is this true? Looking at what is happening currently and linking it to Africa. But they lie. In the front line of the African struggle, we know the truth. The world is a web of golden chains and bloodstained interest. Before you understand that this has something to do with Africa, we need to look at our brothers and sisters in Sudan. They have been screaming into a void. A genocide silent to the Western ears was perfected by the Rapid Support Forces, the RSF. But who were these men? Not just soldiers, but a militia born of same darkness that hunted Darfur in 2003. The same people that are preaching democracy to the world are quiet. If you want to find the killer, you must follow the gold. According to reports cited by Reuters and Human Rights Watch, the RSF didn't just appear. They were manufactured. The United Arab Emirates has been the silent architect, funneling weapon fuel and capital to these militias to keep Sudan in a state of permanent chaos. Why? Because a stable Sudan protects its own resources. A broken Sudan lets its gold flow freely into the vaults of those who sit across the Red Sea. They use Ethiopia as a training ground and the silence of the West as a shield. Washington looked away because the UAE is a partner. But the mother in Khartoum, a partner in DC, is a provider of the bullet that takes her child.
Did Iran just accidentally save Sudan? Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz may have just stopped genocide. Since April of 2023, Sudan has been in an active civil war between Sudanese armed forces, the SAF, and the paramilitary group called the Rapid Support Forces, or the RSF. And I need you to understand who the RSF is before we go any further. They are not just soldiers. They're a militia, the same militia that carried out genocide in 2000. The RSF has been accused of crimes against humanity, including the genocide of non-Arab populations. These accusations come from the International Criminal Court, the Human Rights Watch, Genocide Watch, and the United States federal government. Their forces have killed hundreds of thousands of non-Arab populations, including sexual violence against women and children systematically, imposed deliberate starvation and pillaging of homes, hospitals, and even places of worship. This is an active genocide happening right now, and we've been talking about it for years. And if you follow the money, like I tell y'all to, you will find out who's funding this genocide. And that would be the UAE, who is also mentioned multiple times in the Trumpstein files. Right, the same country who has normalized relations with is not real. The same country that sits on the Persian Gulf. The same country that's been running weapons to the RSF. So here's where the Strait of Hormuz comes in, because the RSF's main sponsor, the USC, has been unable to deliver ammunition and fuel to its allies for 2 weeks. And the reason is because of Iranian strikes. The Emirati air forces are hiding right now because it's simply just too dangerous to risk. So basically, the UAE is too busy hiding from Iranian missiles to fly weapons to the RSF. So without supplies, the RSF is losing its main advantage: power, mobility, and weaponry. And the Sudanese army has launched a major defensive, taking full advantage of this window. So US and Israel bombed Iran. Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz. That in turn grounded UAE's air force. UAE can no longer send weapons to Sudan to continue a genocide. So the people of Sudan, who nobody in Western media is talking about or covering the active genocide, may finally get some relief. Not because America cared, not because the UN acted, not because any international body took action, but because of a chain reaction. This is how interconnected the world really is. That is why you cannot fully understand a conflict in isolation. You gotta understand all of it. You gotta see the whole picture. Reading is important, people. Research is important, people. History is important, people. And listening to voices from these cultures is important. And please keep in mind that the same country that's clutching their pearls because of what's happening in Israel right now, in Tel Aviv, please remember that they were the same country that was actively ignoring and turning a blind eye to active genocide. They were not worried about it or clutching any handbags when there were weapons being flown to Sudan to unalive and grape Sudanese women and children. The USA has sanctioned Iran for decades, but it never sanctioned the UAE for actively participating in genocide in Sudan. Let that sink in. See, the UAE is an ally, so they get to have the label of partner. But Sudan is black, African, Muslim, so it barely gets a headline. You already know why. So I'm telling y'all that the same war y'all think is just about it's not real and oil has its nasty ass tentacles into a genocide happening in Africa. And the people doing the genocide are American aligned. The Sudanese people deserve their story to be told. So please share this video, comment, repost, post to your story, do all the things. Continue to keep your eyes on the Middle East and on Africa. And please remember, this story does not have heroes, nor does it have villains. And context matters. Truth matters. History matters. And consequences are not an attack.
Congratulations to the people of Sudan. As I'm talking to you right now, Iran has liberated Sudan because of this war that is happening between Iran and Israel. Remember last year I talked about this RSF that are terrorizing the people of Sudan because of the gold that they are mining there. And remember the gold that they are mining in that Sudan, they are taking it to UAE. UAE does not have any gold, but how come they are having so much gold in their land? It's because of what? They are getting it from Sudan. And who is sponsoring this RSF is the people of UAE, Dubai. Do you see? Now, how did Iran come into this picture? Remember this Strait of Hormuz that they do pass. That Strait of Hormuz is where they do ship their weapons to supply to the RSF that they are using to terrorize the people of Sudan. They have massacred so many people, caused genocide. Even there's a video that I saw on internet where they are forcing people to bury themselves underground. So they have killed thousands of people in Sudan. Why? Because of the goals the Sudanese have. And those goals, after mining it, they are taking it to UAE. They are the ones sponsoring these people. Now, Iran has liberated the people of Sudan. They came on the street and was jubilating because the forces there, the RSF people, became weak because there is no ammunition again because of this ongoing war. Now, the soldiers, army in the Sudan started fighting them. Now, they are not conquering that RSF because of what? They are weak. No supply, nothing because of this ongoing war. Because of what? Iran blocked that road that UAE use to supply goods, supply weapons to the RSF. You see that these people that you people hated the most are now liberating some countries. Do you see? Now, Trump will not come and say Iran is the one sponsoring terrorism. They are the ones sponsoring this. Now, who are the ones sponsoring this terrorism in Sudan? Is it not UAE? Friends to USA. Do you see? So, guys, tell the people of Sudan, congratulations. I just wish Iran would just keep blocking that Strait of Hormuz. Though blocking it will also affect a lot of countries. Even we in this country, we are still facing it because of what? That Strait of Hormuz is blocked because like 21% of all the oil that do pass across the nation do pass through that Strait of Hormuz. So it's affecting everybody. So what that means is that if they maybe eventually open it, that means UAE will continue supplying arms to the RSF to terrorize the people of Sudan. Do you see? Now, they are rejoicing. The people of Sudan are rejoicing. Please help them type congratulations on the comment section. Yes, Iran has done it. They have liberated Sudan as I'm talking to you right now.
But then, the unexpected happened. While they thought they were going to fight Iran turned to be the savior of Africa. The intercontinental world struck back as Donald Trump and Iran engaged in a high-stakes dance of fire. The Strait of Hormuz became a choke point. Iran strikes and the threat of a total blockade grounded the Emirati Air Force. Sadly, the UAE was too busy hiding from Iranian missiles to fly crates of ammunition to RSF. For the first time in years, the supply line of genocide was cut short by Iran. Not by the UN, not by human rights sanctions, but by a chain reaction of a war that Africa didn't start, but one that Africa is finally benefiting from. Look at the streets of Sudan today. For 2 weeks, the RSF has been running out of bullets. They are running out of money. They are running out of moral support of their masters. The Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, are retaking villages like Bahrain, North Kudufa, liberating people from the grip of foreign-backed proxies. We Africans must watch this with clear eyes. We should be excited, not because we love war, but because when the giants fight each other, they stop strangling us. As long as the West and its allies are distracted by Iran, they cannot micromanage the theft of African resources. This is our fresh air moment that we need to be excited and breathe in. It is a reminder that the same tentacles that squeezes oil in the Middle East are the same ones that are squeezing gold in Sudan. When one tentacle is bent, the others loosen its grips. Is the battle over? No. The SAF is the lesser of two evils, but it is still a shadow of the old regime. But for today, the Sudanese people are breathing fresh air. They are celebrating. This is why we are so excited that Iran is able to control things that majority of us in Africa, because of religion, just can't see. We walk with religion instead of walking with a pure heart or looking at the benefit, what Africa is also making out of what is happening in Iran or in the Middle East. The battle that Iran is fighting is benefiting you, the African. The battle that Africans need to stand up and fight, our leaders, those in the democratic elected, are watching, while our people in Sudan go through pain. Like Captain Ibrahim Traore said, these are the same leaders who will sit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, United Nations, and call for the genocide in other places to stop. Yet the same thing is happening right here on our soil, and our leaders are so quiet about it. Do you see the reason to which you, the African, you need to be happy that Iran is taking over? Because when Iran does, you, the African, you get your liberation. Our resources will rise because the people will no longer have the money, the strength to sponsor the things that will give them easy access to our resources. Put religion for once at one point in time. And at least, like one Chinese man said, use the brain box. This is why we are excited that Iran is able to overpower these people. Because now the supply chain, the things that are giving them the resources, the money to come into Africa to cause us pain, that our brothers and sisters in Sudan cannot have fresh air. These things are on fire. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa and in Sudan.